Welcome, and thank you all for being here this wintry afternoon. Thank you, Maryland state senators and delegates, service providers, community members, and most importantly, family members, for coming to MNADV's 2021 Domestic Violence Homicide Memorial Service. We are honored to have you join us for this somber but important occasion. My name is Jen Pollitt-Hill, and I am the Interim Executive Director of the Maryland Network Against Domestic Violence. The network serves as Maryland's statewide domestic violence coalition, and every year for the past 33 years, we have brought together victim service providers, allied professionals, and concerned individuals to memorialize the victims and bystanders whose lives were lost as a result of domestic violence. Typically, we come together in person to share in the sorrow and outrage of our losses, to remember the impact that these violent acts have had on our community, and to pledge to change the social constructs that allow these tragedies to continue. Clearly, the state of our world requires that we gather virtually, but it does not diminish our desire to honor the victims who lost their lives this past year between January 1st and December 31st, 2020. As we review their names and photographs in the moments to come, we remember that they are not just statistics or numbers. These individuals were part of our families and communities. They are our sisters and mothers, brothers and fathers, and our children. They were our neighbors and co-workers and teammates. Today, we stand in solidarity with their loved ones and remember that these individuals are so much more than victims. They are people whose lives impacted ours in profound ways that cannot be reclaimed. You will learn this afternoon that the number of lives lost due to domestic violence in 2020 is the highest it's been since 2007. These are hard losses to accept. We hope that today, in remembering these lives, we are also able to move collectively towards action in reducing intimate partner and family violence and its harmful effects on our citizens. May these lives lost be the last.
Good afternoon. My name is Inga James, and I am the president of the Board of Directors of the Maryland Network Against Domestic Violence. At our memorial service this afternoon, we are honoring the intimate partner victims and bystanders whose lives were taken between January and December of 2020. In 2020, we saw a drastic increase of fatalities in comparison to previous years. In fact, the number of fatalities was the highest in 2020 it had been since 2007. Of the total 56 lives lost, 38 were victims of domestic violence, 11 were abusive partners, 3 were bystanders, and 4 others were killed within a situation of domestic violence, but the work is still wending its way through the legal system. The majority of intimate partner victims were women at 92%, and the ages of the victims ranged from 3 years to 76 years old. Guns were used in 100% of of all abusive partners' deaths and in 75% of all domestic violence fatalities in 2020. Multiple victims who lost their lives had interactions with the justice system prior to their death. They may have been seeking a protective order, filing for divorce, or may have had an abusive partner in the past. The point is that we knew who these people were, but we could not help them. Thank you for being here this afternoon, and I hope you enjoy the program.
Nika Dorsey. Irma Lily Garrido Ruiz. Theatra Bowman. Caitlin Roberts. Felicia Wagner. Rachel Africa. Katie Ward. Shannon Sauter. Heather Zukowski. Noah Homayuni. Sharice Kirby. Lillian Herndon. Zena Nichols. Ty Healard. Marlene Maldonado Caceres. Tanisha Tyree. Cheyenne Miller. Shania Gilmore. Tykeria Dawson. Taisha Henry. Wendy Robinson. Dante Ayasu. Kim Gooden. Donna Sealer. Amanda Monahan. Donna Lewis. Fatima Kamara. Natasha Price. Trisha Parker. Legina Robellard. Maisha Marable. Stephen Cooper. Brenda May. Thelma Weller. Denia Yamilet Korea. Jimmy Porter. Timothy Francis. Gumercinda Juarez Vasquez. Kelly Caples. Megan Goltz Clementson. Tina Harvey.
Hello, my name is Glenn Fuston. It's an honor to be here to remember those that have lost their lives to domestic violence. The Hogan administration is committed to protecting, supporting, and honoring survivors of domestic violence, as well as those that have lost their lives to this horrible crime. We value strong partnerships we have with organizations like the Maryland Network Against Domestic Violence that work to end domestic violence and address its impact. On behalf of Governor Larry Hogan, I would like to present this governor's citation to the Maryland Network Against Domestic Violence. Be it known that on behalf of the citizens of this state, in recognition of a dedicated tribute by the people of Maryland to commemorate the occasion of the 33rd Annual Domestic Violence Homicide Memorial Service, with grateful appreciation for the commitment to help victims of domestic violence across Maryland, as well as the efforts to honor the lives lost to domestic violence in our state, including the victims of 259 homicides connected to domestic violence in Maryland since 2015. We are pleased to confer upon this governor's citation, given under my hand and the Great Seal of the State of Maryland this 8th day of February, 2021. Signed, Lawrence J. Hogan, Jr., Governor, Boyd K. Rutherford, Lieutenant Governor, John C. Wobensmith, Secretary of State.
Thank you so much for being a part of this afternoon dedicated to remembering victims of domestic violence. May we all continue to work together to eradicate domestic violence and the pain it causes our families and our communities. Have a good evening.